Hello, hello. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to trickle in. So if you are watching live, please go ahead and open the chat. It's along the bottom of the Zoom there. And you can just click on that chat bubble and just go ahead and say hello. Make sure you click the drop-down menu. And if it says hosts and panelists, make sure it says everyone so that everyone can see your question and your comment. I would love to know where you're watching from, and share your name if you want. And yeah, we'll get started in a few. I just want to make sure that anyone who's trying to get on has a moment or two to get on. I see Sheila is on. Hello. If you want to go ahead and type in the chat just to test it out, make sure it works. That would be great. So again, hovering over the drop-down menu, there's a little triangle. Make sure it says everyone, not just hosts and panelists, so that everyone can see your questions. And let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Yeah, so excited to be here. Thank you for coming live. Again, if you're watching the replay and you have questions, feel free to reach out to me either in the group, Redefining Aches and Aging for Women, the private Facebook group that I run, or you can fire me an email. I'll be sharing my email at the end of the session today. So I'm just going to wait a few more moments to see, to let people trickle in. If you want to share where you're watching from, that would be awesome. Say hello. It's more fun when it's interactive, these things, so please don't be shy. And if you are shy, that's okay too. We will be starting in about 2 to 3 minutes. So if you want to grab your coffee, grab your tea, just take a few moments to stretch your body before we, turn off all the other distractions. We're going to try to dedicate the next 45 minutes to being present here. You've carved out the time, whether it's live or if you're watching the replay, you've carved out this time to dedicate to yourself. So please make an intention to pay attention and be mindful. This is all part of the practice to try to tune out that external noise and start to turn within. So again, if you are just jumping on and joining, welcome. So happy to have you today. Thank you for registering. My name is Tatiana. I'll do an official intro in a little bit. I'm just going to give everyone a few moments just to get settled and trickle in, maybe grabbing your tea or coffee. And again, if you want to participate, and I highly encourage you do so, you can click open the chat. It's at the bottom of the Zoom that you see. And if you don't see it, just hover your mouse and like a menu will open and you'll see mute, stop video, participants, chat, or maybe you don't see all that because I'm the host, but you might see Q&A and chat. Open the chat, drop down menu, everyone. That way everyone can see your questions or your comments, and it's more fun when we're interactive with each other. Okay, we are going to be starting soon. And here we go. All right, again, this is interactive. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat and I can answer your questions as we go. Okay, or if you need clarification or you have a comment. All right, so we're gonna jump right into the masterclass today, how to radically reduce your neck and back pain, the 3 strategies that work when nothing else does. So first, are you ready to focus? We're going to be, dedicating the next 45 minutes to this topic. So please try not to multitask, stay present and pay attention. You can even try to turn your phone upside down so you don't see any notifications or put it in another room. Close all the other tabs that are maybe open on your computer and just, take this time for you. It's also highly interactive. I already said this a few times at the start, but I just want to remind everyone, the more you ask, the more you'll gain out of the workshop. So my promise to you for today is that by the end of this training, I'm going to show you how to start to shift away from feeling stuck in your pain, waking up feeling old, stiff, and sore, so that you can start to live freely, move with ease, and move towards becoming the healthiest version of yourself. Does that sound good? And specifically, you're going to discover why what you've been doing for years to relieve tension, aches and pains, and maybe even stress, why that doesn't work or didn't work. And I'm going to walk you through what does. Imagine you could skip over all the Googling, all the YouTube videos, trial and erroring, and just do what works. I know when I learned the steps and methods and my clients learned the steps and methods that it changed my life, it changed their life, and I know it can change yours too. Type yes in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Type yes if that sounds good to you. All right. Can you relate to any of this? Are you tired of going to appointments like chiro, physio, massage, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, only to get temporary relief? Are you fed up with telling your family doctor about your aches and pains and only being prescribed things like naproxen, anti-inflammatories, or just sort of chalking it up to aging? Do you keep Googling back pain or back relief exercises only to find yourself lost in thousands of videos and images? Are you tired of not being able to show up the way that you want in your life? Maybe as a mom, maybe not able to run up and down with your kids, get on the ground with your toddler or your baby and get back up easily. Or maybe you're a grandma and you can't keep up with your grandchildren, even though you really want to be there to help, your son or your daughter out. Or maybe you're a teacher and you're not able to coach a team the way you want to. Or second bullet here, maybe you feel like, well, the pain isn't that bad. I can live with it. But then when you try an activity or you do something a little bit out of the ordinary, like a big job of gardening over the weekend, you end up paying for it all week long. And lastly, do you feel like you've tried everything, but maybe this is just what getting old feels like? I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60. This is just my body now. But then you realize, gosh, I still have so many more years of life worth to live, and something has to change. I don't want to suffer. I want quality, right? Quality of life. Can you relate to any of those bullets? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay. Can you relate with any of that? I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. Okay, I promise you that whatever you're doing and it's not working, it's not your fault. It's really hard to know who is right, who to trust. And if you feel like anything how most of my clients feel, they would have done anything to get rid of their pain and to be able to show up the way they want, but nothing seemed to be working. At least not sustainable and long-lasting results. Here's what the dream looks like, right? You'll wake up every day free from tension, aches, and pains. You won't have to rely on, over-the-counter medications or your prescription medications anymore just to get a good night's sleep or just to get through your day. You'll be able to perform activities of daily living, like going for a walk, maybe going for a run, maybe running errands at the store without leaning on that shopping cart, or, without feeling fearful that you might tweak your back or that your back might go out. Maybe your dream is to be able to keep up with your kids. Your kids are active, they're high energy, all children are, and you want to be able to match that energy, be there with them, and do the physical stuff with them too, not just sit on a bench and watch them. Or maybe you're a grandma and you want to be able to do that. The dream too, you'll wake up ready for your day, every day, energetic, limber, and with this positive mindset, not feeling stuck, stiff, and sore and irritable already when you wake up. And finally, you'll feel free and feel confident in your body and your abilities. What I'm about to share with you is the fastest and simplest way to achieve all those aspirations, all those bullet points in the dream. I'm going to do a little intro about me. I know some of you know me already, and some of you are new. So I'm Tatiana. I am a mom of 3 young kids, and I have over 12 years of experience as a physiotherapist. And also, I've been teaching yoga and mindfulness for over 10 years. And I am the creator of the Move with Ease method. The Move with Ease method, I will share more with you about later on. I have helped numerous women overcome feeling older than they should, stop feeling like they're waking up feeling 80 and feeling their appropriate age or younger, and just being able to conquer aches and pains and finally being able to live freely and do the things they love and participate in the activities they want to and just feel confident and good and connected to their own bodies, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So this picture is an old picture of me. It's with my firstborn, who is now 11. So it's quite an old picture. I was at the time a new mom and a new practitioner, and I was helping my clients who came to the clinic for their physical pains, right? I'm a physical therapist first, right? And I have to admit, I was naive and inexperienced at the time, and I focused on my patients' physical pain, and I treated it from a lens of biomechanics and anatomy, muscles, tendon, ligaments, bones, ergonomics. You get the picture. Back then, my clients were getting results, of course, or else they wouldn't come back and see me. But I would say it wasn't quite 100%, right? They would often come back with similar or maybe the exact same issue. It would recur. And then they would see me alongside, other therapists like chiro, massage, acupuncture, stuff like that. And then they would kind of hit a wall with sustainable or complete results. After a year in my practice, my personal health was evolving. I became pregnant, and being a runner, an avid runner, I couldn't run after I was about 4 months into my pregnancy. So I found yoga. And at first, I, did yoga for the physical practice. And then as I became a mom, and then I dove deeper into my yoga practice, and I did my yoga teacher training and really understood the philosophy and everything that comes with the physical practice, which is the philosophy, the mental side, mindfulness side. I just started naturally incorporating it with my physiotherapy clients. And then as I moved from being a mom of 1 to a mom of 2 to a mom of 3, a lot of changes in my body, physically, mentally, emotionally. It just really transformed how I started to treat my clients as a healthcare professional. I really noticed a pattern. Okay, many repeat clients were women, particularly busy women, working moms that felt stuck and stiff and sore in their bodies, disconnected to their muscles, disconnected to their joints, unaware of some of the muscles that exist in their body, unaware of their posture in space, their breath, and even unaware of where their mindset was at. They were just so busy with life. Go, 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 doing, going, task, right? We wear hats, so many hats as women, juggling, multitasking, kids, work, laundry, groceries. Maybe you're caring for older parents. Maybe you're caring for young grandchildren, right? Cleaning, cooking, everything. There just wasn't enough time in the day, and their health was taking a toll. I remember this one time I was teaching a yoga HIIT fusion class. So HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. And at the end of the class, I had saved about only 5 minutes for Shavasana. So if you don't know what that means, the final pose in yoga class is just lying flat on your mat. It's actually really wonderful. And you just kind of get a moment to like breathe and absorb like all the hard work you just did in the class. Anyway, at the time, one of my participants in my class, who was a friend of mine, she, as soon as they said, okay, everybody get into Shavasana, and we're going to like take, 5 minutes here just to reconnect with our bodies and breathe. She jumped up off her mat. She started spraying it down, wipe, wipe, wipe. And I ran over to her and I whispered, what are you doing? And she's like, I have to go. I can't lie here and do nothing. I have to grab groceries. I got to get the kids to bed, and like, started listing her to-do list. And it was like she just could not control herself. In her mind, she was already tornadoing out of the class. I did my yoga, I got my workout done. Now I got to get this done, the list goes on, right? Lying down for the 5 minutes of class would have made her feel guilty. She felt like her time wasn't being used effectively. And if I'm being totally honest, I used to feel like that too. Does anybody else feel like that? If you do, you're not alone. Type yes in the chat, or tell me your story if you're watching the replay. Do you ever feel like that? Like if you just take a moment to like chill or slow down, you're wasting your time. You should be, doing something. You should be getting something done, whether it's a workout or laundry or cooking or something. Do you feel a little bit like that? Let me know in the chat. Or maybe you're struggling with something similar. Okay, whatever it is, you're not alone. During my journey as a healthcare professional, I have discovered that addressing the physical pain, the physical cause of your pain, of our pain, doesn't 100% solve the problem. So over my years, right, I was a new physio. I was focused on helping people with their physical pain. But then when I kept seeing these repeat clients who were working months over and over again, diving deeper into my own practice, like I talked about, right? First, we're like talking about movement, and then it's like how one second here. Yes, how movement, like first it was all about the movement, right? But then it's like, okay, how does that affect how it changes our mind? And then how does our mindset change our movement? It all does flow with each other. Stress, mental loads, emotions, and old patterns from our past are held in our physical body, something that we don't even realize, and it can linger and present later as tension, tightness, and eventually chronic pain. And this is huge. This is why I've designed the program the way I have. In order to live freely, we have to address the whole person, not just the physical part, not just the mental part, not just the emotional part, but, combining them and working all three, right? We can't just treat the painful symptom. We need to dig deep and figure out why and what we're holding on to and how to release it. For example, you would be shocked to hear that, I've witnessed more than, a handful of clients who sometimes get into a posture and we think we're trying to release a physical muscle in the hip that is stubborn and tight and stuck. And then when we get into that posture and we are like breathing through that discomfort a little bit, there's tears and there's a release in emotion. And that comes from holding tension from years of, trauma that you haven't faced, or maybe an old injury that never truly healed. It can happen now, but the incident happened years ago. So it's really kind of bridging that gap that can come to true healing. It does take commitment and an open mind and an open heart and a willingness to be curious and kind to oneself. This is more than a Band-Aid fix, okay, everyone? This is more than getting that massage. It's more than taking, your pain meds. This is how we address the root cause. I haven't even mentioned the other benefits that a yoga practice, a mindful one, can have on your health, like better sleep, better blood circulation, lymphatic drainage, improved balance, focus, energy, a lot of great things. So my journey as a physio my journey started as a physio, but as I grew and evolved and became experienced with the human mind and the human body, particularly the female body, this is what I'm passionate about, it has brought me to this moment here with you, sharing my methodology that I do with my clients so that they can skip over the years of trial and error and get right to the root cause so that they can overcome the struggle that so many women go through and get rid of that tension, achy stiffness, soreness, disconnection to their bodies in the shortest, fastest, simplest way possible. And I'm so grateful for the decision I made to invest in myself. You know, when I did my yoga teacher training, that was a big time and financial commitment, but I did it and I'm so glad I did. And then, you know, I've invested in postgraduate training. I've invested in business coaching to help me improve and grow and, you know, just always learning. So it's really important. When you know better, you do better, just like Oprah said. So even though I'm now able to help my clients on a holistic level, it took time, trust, and experience to figure it all out. And like I said, it's an ongoing and learning process. I had to unlearn everything I thought was the right thing to do because I quickly discovered how wrong they were. But that's okay. That's how we learn, right? Growth mindset. For example, in the healthcare industry, especially when you're an allied health professional, which I am as a physiotherapist, there's sort of this emphasis from our college to stay a bit of a distance personally, because you want to, you know, have your boundaries and not disclose too much personal information, etc. Right? But this is kind of hard sometimes when we're trying to help someone. We need to be open and vulnerable and show all like us, who we are. And it hinders when I was too, you know, trying to bridge or keep that boundary so tight and separate, it really hindered that process of me being open and vulnerable and trusting. So I did struggle a bit. It took a lot of time and patience. And there's no way I could have arrived at where I am today with the Move with Ease method without having invested in my professional education, in my yoga teacher training, and through the pandemic, and invested in business coaching. So I was fully committed to figuring it out. I knew I could reach more women and help people who were struggling because I was hearing it over and over again, feeling stuck, feeling stiff, feeling sore in their own bodies. And I knew I needed to create a program and a community of like-minded women to lift each other up and help each other and redefine this idea that aging means we need to live with aches and pains and, you know, stop doing the things we love. This just isn't true. We can age healthily, be as independent for as long as possible, and live with great quality of life. So during 2020, obviously we had a lockdown, and I discovered that I could help people without touching them at all, right? You think physiotherapy, you think hands, you think, you know, all those modalities, hands-on technique. No, I couldn't do that. But people, you know, after a couple of weeks of lockdown, people are like, hey, I still have back pain. That's not going to go away. I need help. So I started seeing people virtually. And what's really cool is that on both ends, as therapists and then as clients, as patients, we discovered, wow, hands-on therapy is a nice to have, but it's not necessary. Okay. My clients at the time, and to this day, I still see people virtually, and then my program is online. Like, people are empowered, awestruck, and so happy with their results. And I think they're even happier with their results because it feels like they did it themselves, which they are, because I'm the guide, but the movement and the mindfulness and the work is coming from you, coming from the client, right? And you're probably my clients back in 2020 and to this day now, when I see them virtually, they're eliminating their pain and getting results probably quicker because they're having to do their work on their own, right? When you go somewhere and you get hands-on or you rely on those external factors, you kind of start leaning on it like a crutch. But when you have to put in the work yourself, it's so empowering, and the results last longer, which is really cool. So instead of coming in person in 2020, I treated people virtually, and what they needed was that specific guided practices, accountability, step-by-step instruction on what to do, why they're doing it, and how to do it. We address the root cause, right, of their pains or stiffness or soreness through mindful movement coaching and virtual movement guidance. And we always incorporated mindfulness and breath because that connection is very important for healing. Emotional, mental, and physical body were all taken into account for and support and to be heard, right? We all want to be acknowledged. We all want to be heard. So I'm sharing this with you because there is a simpler way to get rid of your aches and pains, and it doesn't have to look like lots of medication. It doesn't have to look like, going to a million specialists and possibly, having to have surgery. Maybe you are on the wait list for a knee surgery, but there's still stuff you can do right now to get connected to your body, go into surgery as strong as you can, right? There's so much that we can do through a mindful movement practice that will benefit your health in a multitude of ways. Type yes in the comments if you're ready or interested in a simpler way of doing things, and this is resonating with you. So before I dive into the 3 core concepts that I want to talk about today, I want to show you a client of mine. Her name is Robin. Here she is. And I want you to see examples of real success for people that have worked with me so that you can see that it's possible for you too. So after Robin went through the Move with Ease method, she experienced freedom in her life in many ways. First, she was able to advance her workouts at the gym without feeling fearful that her back would go out. She's always, when she first came to me, she explained that she has a threatening lower back, and she always felt like she hit a ceiling, like with workouts. So she was able to overcome that. Second, she was less irritable with work, with her family, and in general, because her pain became much less frequent and she didn't have as many flare-ups. And if she did have a flare-up, it wasn't as intense or last as long. And third, Robin was able to really enjoy her walk runs with her sister. So her sister and her don't live in the same city. They have this cool, healthy habit of catching up with each other with AirPods as they go for a walk run, I think 2 to 3 times every week, early morning. And she was so pleased that after working with me in the program, she was able to catch up with her sister properly without being distracted by her aches and pains. So here's the quote with Robin. Prior, I suffered the effects of persistent and sometimes debilitating back pain. Through mindfulness and yoga, Tatiana has given me the tools required to stay in the game in terms of my own wellness program. Running, strength, biking, snowshoeing, and skiing. Through breathing and a focus on strengthening my inner core, I continue to do all the work that needs to get done in both my personal and professional life. I should add that Robin is a very busy Director General with the government here in Ottawa, and she also has 2 daughters, and she has 3 grandchildren. She's a young grandma. So very busy woman, and fantastic results after working through the program. Tell me in the comments, you can type me or yes if you want to achieve what Robin has been able to achieve, and show up the way you want without feeling like you're going to threaten your back or throw out your neck. Okay, we're going to dive into our core concepts. So concept number 1, the real reason why you are waking up feeling old, stiff, and sore. Okay, you're probably likely, like many people out there, relying on passive therapies like chiro, physio, massage, acupuncture. Okay. So the reason why those don't work, it's not that they don't work, but there's like a traditional way which doesn't work, and it's because it only addresses temporary relief. It's not getting to the root cause of your pain, which is so much more than just let's move this joint that's stuck, or let's do an adjustment and I'll crack your back and you're good to go. That's not getting at the root cause. It feels good in the moment and it might give you temporary relief, but it's not going to give you lasting results. Pain meds, taking pain meds like Tylenol, Robaxacet, naproxen, you name it, because you believe them to be a safe way to alleviate pain and inflammation. This is not sustainable long-term, and anti-inflammatories become tough in the tummy, and they're not good for long-term use. Any pharmaceutical should not be used long-term, and we don't want to depend on over-the-counter drugs either. Topical rubs, back braces, massagers, and other gadgets. They feel good in the moment, but again, it's temporary relief. Even when you, for example, may go to a practitioner who puts on a TENS machine or puts on some sort of electrode padding on you, that's only giving you temporary relief in that moment. It's just breaking up your painful cycle. It feels good in the moment, but then the pain, the root cause wasn't addressed. YouTube and Googling stretching and doing ab exercises, that's great. And I do say this a lot. Dr. Google does have all the answers, but are you able to compile all the info and put it together into a cohesive plan, into a protocol where you can modify some of it so that you're starting from 1%, because we can't just jump to 100. The body can't do that. You're going to get hurt. And then once you do that, which is going to take a lot of time, are you going to stick to that protocol? So yes, Dr. Google and YouTube has lots of info, lots of answers, but how are you going to stay accountable to it? And even before that, what's the sequence? Which ones do I do first? Do I stretch? Do I strengthen? Do I work on my outer core and my inner core? Like, these are the things that I have the expertise in, that I am so passionate about, and I have done the work, and I am so excited to share and help you with. So the root cause, we're going to get to the root cause here for why women, people, you suffer from feeling old, stiff, and sore, is structural disconnection. Okay, lacking movements in all joints of your spine. Did you know your spine has like 24 bones, which means there's over 50 joints in there? Okay, lack of mind-body connection and awareness, lack of inner core awareness, improper breath and posture. This is so important. I can't stress the importance of breath. Okay, and muscle imbalances. This is why my clients are successful. We address all of this in the program, and it accounts for all these root causes of why someone would feel achy, stiff, and sore. Core concept number 2 is a faulty misconception and misbelief that there isn't enough time for daily exercise, and I need to get my pain under control before I can start exercising anyways. You feel like you need to alleviate the pain first, then you can start moving, then you can start exercising. That is a misconception, and it's a common one that many people believe, because even people in the medical field are getting this wrong. I still get clients who come from emergency departments where the ER doc has told them to rest, ice, compress, elevate. It's still a protocol out there, but it's a bit old school, and it's been kind of debunked in the literature. Unless you have a fracture, like a broken bone, movement will always win. But how would you know that? That's not your fault, right? It's just an old school way of thinking. It's taking time to, get out there the info, even through the medical system, like I said. And that's why a lot of people are stuck in their aches and pains. They're afraid to move because they've been told to rest. They've been told to ice. They've been told to elevate it and compress it. Many, many people are not well, even if they're encouraged to move, it's scary because you may not know how to. So that's where turning to an expert is really important. And then mindful movement is even better. And then feeling like you need hours at the gym. You need to work out really hard to be fit. I'm going to show you how you can stick to a plan of moving more without hours of sweating at the gym. People also tell me, I was told yoga is not good for my back. People with back pain shouldn't do yoga. Guess what? Yoga is not about touching your toes. Yoga is not about bending in these funky ways. Yoga is about connecting to yourself and moving your body and paying attention in the present moment, mindfulness. I will show you how to effectively and safely practice yoga so that it can become a pivotal part of your routine and keep your back pain away. Keep it at bay. I also hear the only way to get rid of my pain is I have to take these prescription medications or the over-the-counter meds. I need my daily Advil and Tylenol dose. There is a simpler way to get rid of your pain without meds, I promise you. Or sometimes people feel guilt. It's wrong for me to spend money and time on myself when I should be focusing on my kids and my family and my career. Well, prioritizing yourself and your health is so important so that you can be there for your kids now and in the long run. You want to be there for them in their future. You want to be able to help them and be present and, be able to enjoy the activities with them. It's too hard to stick to the plan because I travel, I'm too busy with my work and my other responsibilities, my kids' activities. I'm, chauffeuring them to soccer, hockey, baseball, and life in general is just too busy right now. I'll show you how to get the results you want without having to carve out a ton of extra time. I promise you, we can do little bite-sized pieces that will bank like interest and then compound over time. It doesn't have to look like tons of extra time because I know I'm a busy mom too. I know. Everyone in my family, this is another misconception. Everyone in my family has struggled with back pain and arthritis, so it's inevitable. It runs in my family. I have it too. Just because it runs in your family doesn't mean that you can't change that. Okay, it's not true. And isn't it just normal to have aches and pains when we get older? Doesn't that just come with the territory? No, it's very common, but it's not necessarily normal. We can redefine this misconception of aging and that aging equals pain. I will show you how you can live freely in your second half of life with confidence and joy and move with ease and do fun activities that you love and be able to sustain it so that when you retire eventually, or maybe you're already retired, you can have a great quality of life. Why else do we work so hard our whole lives, right? Before I move on, I want to tell you about my client, Nikki. There's Nikki. She is very dear to me because she's had such an incredible story. I'll just read it in her words. This is her testimonial. I am a mother of 2 energetic kids, and my husband and I have the privilege of coaching some of their teams. I used to be a high-level hockey player, but over the past 20 years, Nikki is now 40, my old knee injury and multiple ACL surgeries have continued to affect me. It's been a constant struggle because my body feels much older than it should. I often find myself frustrated during activities as my mind believes I can do something, but my body doesn't always cooperate. Compensating for my injured left knee for such a long time has resulted in stiffness in my back, a significant imbalance in my hips, and overall tightness throughout my body. As a teacher, I'm constantly on the move at school, but I wasn't mindful of my actions, which only worsened my imbalances, like unconsciously leading with my right leg only to go up and down stairs. It wasn't until I started working with Tatiana that I became aware of these compensations. Tatiana helped me reestablish a connection with my left leg, relearn how to move my body, and transform my mindset from one of pain and fear to confidence, strength, and reduced discomfort, all through the convenience of virtual visits, virtual coaching. Thanks to our work together, I've been able to return to CrossFit, and I'm playing on sports teams such as ball hockey, and I'm being a goalie. I can also coach without limping or feeling the need to take a seat. Tatiana has equipped me with not only the physical tools, but also the mental tools to overcome old patterns that no longer served me. I've developed a new love for non-competitive movement and continue to relearn how to be patient with my body. I'm incredibly grateful that I embarked on this journey because I now live with significantly less pain. As a result, I can show up fully as a teacher, a mother, and a coach in the way I've always wanted. And as an athletic player again, I can participate in sports without the fear of feeling like I'm not giving it my all. I wholeheartedly recommend this to all my friends and colleagues who aspire to be active and healthy, but are struggling with limitations or pain or fear. She is a game changer. Thank you so much, Nikki. So there's Nikki there. She has an incredible story. She's doing so well. She learned, how to reestablish her structural connection, like she said, change in the mindset. And that doesn't happen overnight, right? Like that's baby steps, but we got her there. And, sometimes she finds herself, she can revert back, but she has the tools to be aware and then keep moving forward. Super cool. So happy for Nikki. Another client here, Vera, retired 2017 and is a full-time grandma now. I think she has 5 grandchildren and she's very hands-on. She loves helping her children out so that she can spend time with her grandchildren. And just a bit of a history with like achy hips, achy back, and just kind of wanting to be able to get up and down off the ground with her grandchildren, go for hikes with them, play with them at the playground without feeling limited. So this was about, I think she was 3 weeks into the Move with Ease method, and she sent me this email, and it just made me smile. She says, arrived in Kincardine, small town on Lake Huron last evening to spend a week with my son and family. Started the day showing your XYZ spine yoga to my granddaughter. She's 9, and then she showed me 10 yoga positions she learned at school. Isn't that cool? She did yoga with her granddaughter. Went for a 2-hour hike with my son and his Bernese mountain dog in that pic there. Remarkably, I'm not even tired. I credit my new Move with Ease routine. Thank you, Tatiana. That was pretty cool because she was only, a couple weeks into the program and already seeing the benefits. So the reason you showed up here is because you want to live free of pain, right? And wake up feeling confident in your body and start to move with ease. You want to live a healthy version of yourself and move into the second half of your life in a way that you can enjoy all the activities you love and set yourself up for success. Here's what I discovered that works. I discovered that in order to truly help my clients get rid of stress, tension, aches, and pains, they needed like 5 things. These 5 elements are really important. 1, we already kind of talked about, but you got to address the root cause. We have to address the root cause. No more band-aid solutions, quick fixes. No, got to get at the root cause. Element 2, a step-by-step plan that teaches them what works and why. Right? Why and what is it that works? 3, addressing the spine in its entirety, effective breath and postural awareness, and the underlying feelings and emotions that might be keeping someone stuck in that painful cycle, right? So that mind, body, emotional, mental, physical connection, really important. 4, a professional that they can ask questions and get support from and adjust and modify. That's me. And 5, have accountability and a sense of community. We're all so poor at being accountable to ourselves, but when we have a sense of community and accountability to others, we, the power of the pack, we do better, we support each other, we show up for each other. That's what's really important. So those 5 key elements. That's why I created the Move with Ease method. I felt that I was repeating myself day in and day out in my office here with one-on-one clients. And All my female clients would share very similar work-life stories, like imbalances, aches and pains, feeling, like they don't have enough time in the day to carve out for exercise, feeling disconnected. And I just felt like, and then I would teach them all these things, but I felt like there's got to be a way to connect them all, right? Because I feel like they would gain so much from having a community together. And then they wouldn't feel so alone, and they'd have accountability, and then me to help guide them, right? So asking each other questions, bouncing ideas, it was like a light bulb moment. We all do better when we have purpose and accountability with each other and an underlying understanding of why we're doing it and how to do it. We're so busy as moms, as spouses, as employees, as daughters, whatever. We don't have time to figure out one more thing. We don't want another thing on our plate. And we just want specific action tasks and the reason behind why we're doing it. That's why the Move with Ease method is so great. It's step by step. It's super easy to follow. There's a checklist and a guide, so you don't have to guess, you don't have to research. You follow the steps. Got to do the work. There's no quick fix, right? But you will see the results. And you build and create these healthy habits over time to build into your existing day. They're not big, heavy duty, hours of sweat at the gym. It's minimal extra time that's carved out. Tell me in the comments, would you rather continue in your old way and repeat the things you've tried, maybe keep investing in the things you've invested in, or would you rather try a new way, a shift in the old pattern, learn, grow, and move your body in a mindful, meaningful way? Let me know if that sounds good in the comments. And let me know, do you think support, accountability, and professional mentorship from someone who has years of experience working with women with your specific types of aches and pains and what you're trying to overcome, your limitations, would that be helpful? Let me know in the chat. Here's my last example for you. I have to start wrapping this up soon. Just checked in with the time. So this is Nicole, and she's a really good friend of mine, actually. And we met during our master's at Queen's. She's also a physiotherapist. She's now a professor of kinesiology at Queen's University, where we met. And let me read you her testimonial because I think it's very powerful. Here's what she has to say. Tatiana and I go way back when we met during our master's in physical therapy at Queen's University back in 2008. Even as an educated physio myself, a PhD, and now an assistant professor in kinesiology, a mom of 2 young children, I find myself struggling with aches and pains as my body ages. I tell you my education not to show off, but to demonstrate that even though I have the knowledge and education, I still struggle. Just a few months ago, my 4-year-old asked me to race her to the car. As we started running, I couldn't believe how awkward and out of body I felt. Another time, I was goofing around with my 2 kids, 4 and 1 at the time, and I fell and sort of rolled my ankle on the ice. It wasn't a sprain, but I felt it. Fast forward a week later, I stood up from my desk. I was writing out a lecture, working from home on my computer, and I sprained my ankle. It goes to show, though, that even though I know all the things, this can still happen to me. I'm realizing that I need to get my body into a healthy state so that I can get down and play with my kids and get back up. I want to keep up with them. I want to be able to feel confident and good when I race my daughter in a parking lot. I want to feel strong and deeply connected to my body again. Being a busy working mom, compounded with the sedentary work life that has happened with the pandemic, I really have started noticing the negative effects on my body. Working with Tatiana in the Move with Ease method means I have key elements that helped me succeed. Community, accountability, straightforward action tasks and steps so that I don't have to think. I just have enough on my mental load and my plate with work, life, and kids. It was so nice just to have mentorship, tell me what to do exactly, and it was all in bite-sized, achievable pieces. And I could ask her anytime to modify any exercises to meet my needs. So that's Nicole's story. She's feeling much less stiff even now. She finished the program a couple months ago now. She is able to now find the energy to work out at the end of her day, not every day, but some days, right? Before she was just so tired by the end of a work day. After putting the kids to bed, she would just be, going to bed herself or so low energy, all she could do was like lie on her couch. But now she has, because of the program, energy at the end of the night to do something for her, some sort of mindful movement. And she can do things like tend to her garden. They live on this beautiful property and she has like a ton of garden beds, and without paying for it. Usually she'd be stuck stiff and sore in her upper and mid back for days. Nicole's joke is, I look like a question mark. Not anymore. And yeah, feels much less stiff and really improved her posture. And she loved the weekly coaching sessions because it held her accountable. She could get clarification. She's someone who has all the knowledge, but it's different when you're being watched and, someone's helping root for you, guide you, cheer you on. Even when we know the things, it's different when we have to put it into practice. And it's really nice to have a guide. So Nicole found a lot of success because of that. And collaborating and connecting with other women through their stories, through their struggles, and sharing wins together was key to her success in the program. So quickly, I'll review the core concepts. So the real reason, the underlying root cause that you're waking up with aches and pains is structural disconnection, right? It's not because you're getting older. It's not because your family history has arthritis. It's because of structural disconnection. Okay, that's core concept number one. Core concept number two, the faulty beliefs, right? It's not your fault. And you don't need to get rid of your pain first before you start movement, before you start exercise. In fact, it's movement and mindfulness together that helps you get rid of pain. And three, the discovery that changed everything for my clients is those 5 elements that we need to address, right? The root cause, a proven protocol that plan, address the spine and the deep core and the breath, support and mentorship, accountability, and community. So let's review why you showed up today or why you're watching the replay. You want to stop waking up feeling stiff, achy, and sore, older than you should. You want to live free of pain. You want to wake up feeling confident in your body so that you can move with ease. And you want to move into the second half of your life in the healthiest version of you possible. That's totally fair. You want to be able to enjoy all that life has to offer, right? And my promise to you that I made in the beginning was to show you how to start to shift away from that feeling stuck in your pain, how to shift away from feeling like stiff and old and sore when you wake up in the morning, and how to begin living freely, moving with ease, and becoming the healthiest version of you, or working towards it, right? Life is a journey. We're all on the journey. There's no end, but I want to help you start that journey. So it comes down to a choice here. We have a choice, path A. You can continue Googling. You can continue down the same path, taking medication perhaps, going to your weekly or bi-weekly appointments, chiro, massage, physio, your passive therapies, using Band-Aid solutions to get some temporary relief, and feeling a little bit stuck and defined by the aches and pains in your body. And you continue to invest in short-term relief, but no return in your future. That's your path A. And then there's path B, working inside the Move with Ease method, where you get a proven protocol step-by-step, accountability, mentorship, community, sustainability for your aches and pains, and to growth in your mindset, growth in your physical performance, growth in your mindful mind-body connection, and investing in your health in a way that will pay you back 1,000 times in your future. Here's how I can help you. So not everyone fits into the program. So, and that's okay. It's, you have to jive, right? Coach and client need to jive. So here's how I can help you. I do offer a complimentary call. It's called the Move with Ease Assessment. It's about 30 to 40 minutes and it's free. And it's really just to gain clarity, help you gain clarity on where you're at right now and how, what your goals are, and if we can work together and how to move forward. Even if we're not a good fit to work together, what are some things that will help you move forward so you don't keep feeling stuck? Here's the link. I'll drop it in the chat so that you can book a call. And if you don't see a time that works for you, go ahead and fire me an email. I can see if I can squeeze you into my schedule. I'm coming off vacation, so things are a bit tight the next couple of weeks. But for sure, reach out if you don't see a time slot that works for you, okay? I really encourage you to book a call because there's no fee. It's free, and it'll help you gain clarity. It's just nice to talk it out with someone, especially someone who's worked with a lot of women with your kind of struggle, your kind of pain, your kind of, limitations. And it really is to help you gain clarity on how to move forward. So the Move with Ease assessment call, again, we'll be going through any obstacles and challenges that might derail your success and your specific goals and why you want it, and any self-sabotage I can help you identify that might be happening that's preventing you from moving forward. There's no catch. Truly, my passion is to help women. I told you I am a physiotherapist. I am a yoga teacher. Through the program, Move with Ease method, I am combining the two. I'm a health, mindful movement coach. And I want women to be able to feel free and confident in their bodies and live a healthy lifestyle, especially the second half of life, right? Like, let's make life as enjoyable as it can be and enjoy everything it has to offer and show up the way we want. The call is free because we need to see if we're a good fit. And I am here to tell you there's no magic pill and there's no quick fix, right? So making sure that you're committed, and I'm already committed. I've committed, obviously, because I'm so passionate about this, but are we a good fit to work together to do the work? The call is not for you if you are looking for a quick fix. You're a little bit, not open, right? You're not committed to living a life free of pain. If you're impatient with yourself and others and you continue to blame yourself or past events for your pains. I'm not saying you can't have stories about it, but it's important to have an open mind and open heart to kind of try to unlearn those old patterns. And I help you with that. That's part of the mindset shift, and get curious and try to look at your body and your pain in a different way. That's how we transform and make change. So the call is for you if you're ready to stop doing all of the things that don't work or the things that you think you should do and focus on the proven system, the Move with Ease method that does work. The call is for you if you're done with short-term results and you know that the road to success is not straight, but you're committed. You recognize that your health is an investment, right? Your health is your wealth. And you're coachable and you ask for support and you like accountability. So again, I invite you to book a call. If there's any questions, go ahead now and type it in the chat, type it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, I'm here to support you. Happy to answer any questions you may have. And lastly, I'm just gonna say thank you because you dedicated an hour. It's 1 o'clock now. You dedicated 1 hour of your time to this masterclass and to learning a little bit more about yourself and how you can move forward in a positive, healthy way. So I can't wait to chat with you. I really hope I get to speak with some of you. Whether or not we work together is, it's not the point. The point is help you gain clarity. I would love to work with you, but we have to make sure we're a good fit. And I'll close the masterclass with this amazing quote from Huxley Workman. He is a singer, artist, songwriter. He's from Huntsville, Ontario. I went to one of his shows back last December, and he said this, and it really resonated with me because at the time I had just finished creating the Move with Ease method, and he said this at his show. In the first half of life, you feel like you have an endless runway. Then we hit our 40s, and in this second half of life, you realize you have a shorter runway. But it's also a second chance at life. You realize there's a limit to your time here, and you want to live life to its fullest, making each day matter. And that's beautiful, Huxley. That really resonates with me, and I hope that resonates with you. And again, I'm happy to connect. Looking forward to speaking with some of you. Make sure you jump into the group, the free Facebook group, Redefining Ace and Aging for Women. Post lots of free resources there too. And yeah, until next time, bye for now.